because these guys always, be all off kilter and stuff.
Okay, just a reminder, live streaming now, this is going on, you certainly can record it and upload it. Okay.
Thanks, guys. Just finished up day 2 in the shorts, so the fashion show's over. We get to put the pads on and find out a lot more about our team. I'm not fired up about shorts because a lot of guys don't look as good when you put the pads on as they do with the shorts, but we find out tomorrow and we start popping a little bit. I've really been pleased with the enthusiasm of the team. A lot of leaders leading and guys pushing each other. A little hotter today than it was the first day. First day we had practice backed up due to finals. Today it was a little bit hotter. I think the players are starting to get a little more acclimated to that. Keep their yardages down on the GPS, which is tough. To have a good practice, it's hard sometimes to keep them under 6,000, 7,000 yards. So you start worrying about hamstrings and soft tissue injuries. But excited for where they are. We've been able to work a little bit on special teams and punting. We've been able to do a little bit on field goal team. So those 2 special teams units have been at the forefront, and then everything else has been base offense and defense.
What special teams, you talked about that a lot today. Y'all putting more time, kind of say, put more emphasis on it, kind of what do you think?
Well, it's hard to put more time on it. We've tried to add a minute to each period that we had last fall, which is actually a lot when you think it's 2 or 3 minutes a day for 27 days. That's a lot more time. We're also doing some walkthroughs in the morning, which we only did a little bit of that last year. So we're putting an emphasis on that way.
How will you, the kicking situation is really interesting with a couple of the guys, Rodriguez. How will that be decided? I know you kicks every day and certainly during scrimmages.
It'll be charted exactly like you just said. I mean, it'll be every day competition. That's why we started kicking and punting early. We always start punting early. We don't always start kicking early. We started kicking early, because we wanted to work on our protection scheme. We also wanted to do some 2-minute situations where a guy had to make a kick to win the game. So those guys are going kind of head-to-head and kicking, and then the 2 guys that kind of going head-to-head. And we'll see how those situations come out over time. So it'll be a day 1, day 2 cumulative effect. We won't kick every day, though. That would wear them down. So we're going to go about 3 days on, take 1 off, 3 days on, and just put all those stats together, try to make the best decision.
If I could follow on Marvin, is he just showing up, or has he been?
No, he was able to come in the summer on his own and do some things. So he was legal to come in the summer and be around the players and do some stuff with them, which he did.
And what have you seen of him?
Well, I wasn't seeing him in 2 days because I wasn't able to work with him prior to that over the summer. He did conditioning drills, but I never saw toe meet leather. So did a good job. So has Rodrigo. The 2 guys for the first 2 days have both kicked good. One kicked better the first day, one kicked better the second day, but they'll keep competing.
Kirby, with entering his last season, what are you looking to see this game with that?
Yeah, with Lorenzo, it's always a work progress as far as he's great energy. Like, the guy gives great effort. We always have an extra effort board. He is almost always on top of that. The thing we encourage Lorenzo to do is play more physical on dominant run teams, and I think he's taking ownership in that. He reported to camp, I think, around like 250, and what we're trying to do is say, okay, last year he reported at this weight, and by the end of camp he was this weight. What did he lose? We're trying to monitor that closely and keep that weight on him. Because he does. He has high yardage. He burns weight really fast. So our goal is to not overwork the guy in camp to the point where it's 240. We want him around 250 at the end of camp. So that's the goal, and I think he can improve on his pass rush. He can improve on his knowledge of the defense. But the best thing he's improved on is a relationship with the other players and being a leader.
Kirby, you talked about the team being more mature back at the Media Day. You kind of touched on this in the beginning. Are you seeing that play out in these first 2 practices, having a more mature team?
Oh, we are more mature, no question. Yeah, we got an influx of a freshman group, but we're no longer 60% freshman sophomore. It's a little bit more like 55% freshman sophomore. We have 2 large classes of freshman sophomore, but our senior class this time has more guys that are mature in their factors on the offense and defense. So the leadership factor is a lot better. I mean, a guy doesn't come out to practice tape. Never a senior, it's one of the rookies. Guys late to a meeting, it's not one of the seniors, it's one of the young guys getting lost. So those guys, the mature guys, have helped lead the younger guys.
What has J.R. Reed done to impress you, through the spring, summer, now, and also what would that mean for Aaron Davis? Obviously, had some star work at G-Day.
Yeah, I think that J.R. Reed is probably one of the guys I've talked about the least. That's probably the most interesting, I would say. There's a that we took as a transfer, and we didn't know a lot about him. Okay, we thought he was a good player. We knew his family and his dad, and really when he first got here, we knew he was fast. He didn't know everything. Well, he really did a good job of learning everything last year on the scout team in the spring, and he was one of the prizes of the spring. Now, I would reserve judgment right now because he's only got 2 days' body of work. When we go nickel, which we are a lot, he's become a starter, and he's very intelligent. He's fast. He's a good tackler. I mean, he's been one of the surprises in an area we needed him. So he's playing the position that AD played. You know, and AD's playing the position Mo played. If somebody can play that star better than AD, then he might go back there with JR. But if AD can play the safety better than JR, he might go back there. But we're going to kind of keep mixing parts in there. So we got some injury answers.
2005 you were here, and that was an older group too, with Greg and all those guys. Can you feel it? I mean, you just talked about the percentage of older guys being bigger. Can you feel too that the older guys are on offense or even in more important positions?
I would agree with that. The problem is the quarterback that year, and it's such a critical factor that guy was not only a mobile guy, but he was a senior. I mean, he had been. I mean, think about it. It was his fourth year, or maybe I don't know if it was his fifth, or I guess it was his fourth year in that offense. So it was. I mean, it was like second nature to him. I was a rookie coaching the running backs, and here he is. He's a vet. And I had a room full of running backs, as I remember, that was similar to the ones we had now. I mean, it was Danny Ware, Craig Lumpkin, Thomas Brown, Tyson Browning. I mean, they were loaded. And there's a lot of good talent there. That part's similar, but the experience factor I don't think is exactly the same on this team. And we have some good youthful O-linemen here that, I mean, I'm excited about the O-linemen after the 2 practices, but we hadn't put the pads on, you know. So it's like, who can really tell right now until they start getting really exhausted carrying around 25-pound weights.
I'm sorry. As far as the secondary, you talked yesterday about you got all these guys back. Do you feel like there's a number one lockdown cornerback? If this guy's taking the other team's best receiver,
I don't know that we've developed that. I'm very confident in Malcolm Parrish and DeAndre Baker. But you say number one lockdown, I don't really know how to define that. I mean, I don't know if you're saying a first-round pick. Is he going to stop everybody he plays against? I mean, our guys complete passes on him out there, you know, and I don't know if we have a first-round wide receiver. So I don't know how to measure that per se. I'm confident and they know what to do, and they really compete hard. The freshmen are going to compete with the older guys. The older guys are doing a good job, but, I mean, we still have room for improvement in the secondary, and I keep harping on it doesn't matter if you started 100 games. It matters how you play and how have we played in the secondary. I mean, okay, fifth. I'm not used to being fifth in the conference. That's not the standard at University of Georgia. So I want to be there. I want to be first in the conference.
What's that fifth?
Fifth in passing, defense, or, you know, total defense. Yeah, in the SEC, I would say we're fourth or fifth, something like that. We go through the stats, and that part we can improve on. Well, if we get the same people back, there's no guarantee that we're going to move up. We got the same people back. We have to challenge the people that are here to get better, and then players have to create that competition. You know, J.R. Reed has to create that competition. Amir Speed, William Poole, Brainy, all those guys, LeCount, Gibbs. I mean, everybody's got to factor in to make us better, because just because you have the same people back doesn't make you more effective.
So talking about those young defensive backs, how much mixing and matching are you guys going to do as far as trying guys out at corner, trying guys out at safety?
Well, in our defensive scheme, we're trying to put them in the right spot from the beginning, because it's tough to start moving them. You know, we've had some situations like Brainy's worked a little more at safety, and he played a little bit of everything in high school. You know, Poole's played some star and corner. Speed's been mostly just corner. Eric Stokes been mostly just corner. Some of those other guys have been safety. Richard LeCount. Gibbs has been a nickel. So we're trying not to do the whole mixing and matching with them. Let the older guys do the mixing and matching and get those freshmen in a spot where they can provide depth or compete for a starting job.
You've talked a lot about what the standard is here. Do you think that message is getting through to your program as well as sort of the ethos that is Georgia?
Well, I don't know about the ethos that is Georgia, but I know that it's getting through to our players, and that's what matters to me. I mean, the organization understands that. Coaches understand that, and the players are beginning to understand that. They understand that it doesn't matter what you did yesterday, it doesn't matter what you did last year, and it really doesn't matter what you do tomorrow. It only matters what we do each day. And as long as they can focus on that, I'm completely happy. And I'm just challenging them day by day to go out and give me all they got and trust that we're going to back off of them when they get exhausted and tired.
More questions?
Kirby, from a coach's perspective, is it different at this point this year evaluating Jacob in practice when he's a definitive starter, as opposed to last year when there was like competition?
Yeah, it's extremely different. I mean, Jacob still has a lot of room to improve, but I mean, it's a lot better off as far as understanding the command of the offense. I mean, you can only imagine the number of reps this guy's taken in that amount of time. So he's a lot further along. But Jake Fromm's a lot further along than where he was at this time last year, too. So that part's good.
But from a coach's perspective, do you maybe focus on him a little bit more, knowing that he's going on Easton a little bit more, knowing he's going to be starting day one, or do you still focus on three of those guys?
Oh, I'm focusing on the development of the entire team. I think that's the most important thing to do. Now, the quarterback position is an integral part of that. I got somebody on offensive coordinator that I pay to focus on that as well. So I try to spread my focus around, but the quarterback is the sole guy that decides a lot of plays and puts you in the right play. So that part is very, very important.
Coach, talking about improvement, you talked a lot about it with the players. Were there any areas that you specifically focused on you wanted to get better? And I know you guys go around to other campuses and stuff. Did you do any kind of seek out any kind of consulting or anything?
Talk to a lot of head coaches. I always do that. I mean, I don't like getting specific about who because that's not really fair to them. We ordered a couple things we bought through the athletic department that we think help us in 2-minute situations that occurred throughout the year in NFL and in college football. I think as a coach, you're always trying to grow, and you want to see how guys managed or mismanaged situations so that when that situation comes up for you, you're more prepared to manage it, okay? Thank you, guys. Hey, just wanted to leave a note. Bill's cleared to go.
Bill is in.